everybody, Princess here. Like everybody says, during New Year's, I want to try something different. I have wanted to talk about what I'm going to talk about today for a long time, but I've never really had the right words until I watched Sarah Snitch's videos about it. I think in part because of her video and in part because of what I'm just going to talk about in a second, I'm finally ready to talk about it myself. About the time that Carrie Fisher passed away, I came to terms with the fact that I am anxious. I have anxiety. Losing an advocate who was so open about her own mental disabilities made me realize that it's time to be open about mine. My struggle with anxiety goes far back. I hate to be the kind of person that says, oh, I've always been a worrier, because literally everyone worries about things all the time. But I think the thing that has always set me apart from just worrying about things is my reaction to the stress that I feel when I worry. When I'm overwhelmed, I can become very angry and I can tend to forget that people around me are people and they have feelings and opinions separate from mine. I break down, I cry, I hyperventilate, I can hurt other people's feelings without meaning to. When I was a kid, if I wanted something in a store, I needed to have it immediately. And if I was told no, that we would come back for it, or just that I couldn't have it, I would freak out. And it wasn't necessarily because I wanted the thing and I had to have it, it was because in my mind, if we left, I would never see the thing again. It would no longer exist. I still tend to immediately think like this. If I see something like a movie or something in a store, I need to have it immediately, because if I don't take it home right then, I will never see it again. As I've grown up, I've come to realize that that is kind of ridiculous. It's a lot easier for me now to pick up a book at work and say, well, I could buy this now, but also I could buy this when I finish another book because I work in a bookstore and I have access to getting these things. That has been very good for my wallet, because buying everything that I want simply because I think it's going to just inexplicably disappear if I don't have it immediately would be very expensive. This and some of my other problems boil down to a general need to control things. When I was little, my parents took me and my brother to family therapy. I really don't even remember the therapists themselves, but they told my parents two things about me. The first was that I was going to be a pain in the ass as a teenager, which was fair and fairly prophetic, but a kick-ass adult, which I also think is pretty fair. And the second was that I had impulse control disorder, which I don't even know if the therapist said it that way. I don't know if it's a disorder on its own. But in any case, the idea that I had control impulse problems, that was pretty sound. I do not like to be in situations that I'm not in charge of. This was really a problem when I was a kid, up basically through college. I was never really challenged to change the symptoms or to realize that these were symptoms of anxiety until I got to college and I befriended Sarah, and we kind of formed our own group of friends who reacted differently than anybody else I had ever seen react to the things that I did. It's very stressful for me if something does not go exactly the way that I need it to. The more that I've become aware of this impulse to control things, the more I find that I can step back and tell myself to just let it go with the flow, as much as I hate that phrase, and breathe. In general, my need to control not only got in the way of how I dealt with people in a productive, constructive manner, but also tended to hurt people's feelings. I'm still trying to find a balance, and I may always be trying to find a balance between knowing when to let go and let somebody else have control of the situation, or just let them help me, and when to stand up for myself and be the controller of the situation, of whatever I'm in. A big and unrelated issue to that is nighttime. I cannot stand being in complete and total darkness and silence. I remember hating having to sleep in beds that did not belong to me and were not in my own house. When I was a little bit older, I would sleep with my CD player or my MP3 player playing. I've actually talked about this on the channel before, but it's certainly relevant for this discussion as well. When I was in elementary school, I had a friend that moved out of my neighborhood and across our town. Our parents were also really close at this point, so we would go over to her house every weekend. Well, my friend would ask me to stay over almost every weekend, and I would never do it. I said no most weekends, and as an adult, I've realized that this friend of mine may or may not have thought that she had done something to make me not want to stay. And it had nothing to do with that. My inability to feel comfortable, to sleep through the night in another house, kind of drove our friendship apart. More unrelated topics, I hate being late to everything. Unless there are dire circumstances, I am never less than 15 minutes early to every shift at work. I live less than 10 minutes away from where I work. I pad ETAs and try to figure out how long I think a task is going to take me and give myself extra time, because I can't do anything unless I give myself the extra time. I can't function without it. And because time freaks me out so much, it's been a point of contention on the channel before. Of course, there are other things that I do or experience that either don't have a backstory or they do and I don't feel comfortable talking about them right now. I will say that sometimes I find it really hard to believe in my own ability to do things, including and especially maintaining relationships. Because why would somebody want to be my friend? Why would somebody want to text me? Why would somebody want me to text them? I hate trying to inconvenience people. That makes me so anxious, is thinking that I'm texting them in the middle of a very important task. I will repeatedly check up on people if I think that they're angry with me, because I hate the idea that somebody that I like and respect doesn't like me. This has proven to be more anxiety-inducing and annoying of a habit than productive. I'm just saying, from personal experience, your friends probably will tell you when they're angry with you. Otherwise, they're not really your friends. I don't take a lot of risky chances because I don't like the idea of facing consequences of those chances. Decision making is difficult, laborious, and often just something that I push off and can't physically do. I have developed stress migraines with aura just because I have anxiety. Those migraines don't go away unless I take a nap. Sometimes I stress myself out so much that my left eye will twitch for days without ceasing. I constantly grind my teeth without even noticing until my jaws start to hurt. If I'm not physically doing something with my hands, I explode. I cannot stand still. Sarah gave me a fidget cube a couple of months ago, and let me tell you, it's so nice. I can't let things go. If there's a problem, I need to fix it immediately. Right now, I can't wait. I think that making videos and running a channel with a creative partner who is someone that is my best friend and I love and respect a lot has helped me deal with some of these anxieties and some of these symptoms. So that is pretty much my story, specifically when it comes to dealing with anxiety. My dog is barking in the back room there. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Ignore everything that's happening around me because I just can't stop it. In the comments below, how do you deal with coming to terms with stuff like this? Because it's not easy. If you're not already subscribed to The Princess and the Scrivener, please do so down below, especially if you'd like to see more videos on Disney, intersectional feminism, pop culture critiques, and more. The Scrivener. We'll see you next week.